Cafdil Healthcare on Cafdil Television. Tonight, we are going to take a look at Aefi concerns on vaccination and also help alleviate the fear around vaccines and its side effect. My name is Kojo Arthur. Tonight, I am here with Mr. Charles Bonigate. He is the head of Disease Control Unit, KEA Municipal Health Directorate, Elmina, and Abu Kwabna. He is also a disease control officer, Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. Let me go for a short break. When we come back, we'll start talking.
Time immemorial, God has always communicated himself and his will through various voices, the prophets, the kings, the judges, not forgetting John the Baptist, who was a precursor to Jesus Christ and gave us the will of God. We bring to you Voices from the Valley. This is a program designed by the Conventual Franciscan Friars in Ghana in collaboration with Cafdil TV to bring you in-depth insight in our faith, catechesis, and various Catholic teachings which will help you in your journey as a pilgrim. I know you cannot miss this program, and I highly encourage you that you shouldn't miss this program because it is Voices of God from the Valley of Prayer and Silence. Join us this and every Sunday at 3 p.m. and a repeat on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. here on Cafdil TV and on our various social media platforms, YouTube, Cafdil EDU, and Facebook, Cafdil Cape Coast. Let us meet and share what God has for us through the Voices from the Valley.
Make me a means of your peace.
Welcome back. This is Cafdil Healthcare on Cafdil Television. Like I said, tonight we are taking a look at AEFIs, and they will unpack the meaning of AEFIs and also help us to alleviate the fears around vaccines. You are welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
From Elmina and Cape Coast Teaching Hospital.
Yes.
Okay, so let me. Whom should I start from? You or any?
Yes, can be any.
Okay, so let me start from you, Abu.
Okay.
AEFI, what exactly is it, and how is it different from vaccine side effects that people commonly experience?
Okay, thank you in the first place, and let me also thank our viewers. Actually, AEFI. The full meaning is adverse event following immunization. So what it means is that any untoward medical concerns that happens to any individual who takes in a vaccine, it does not necessarily mean that it is as a result of the vaccine that the person is experiencing that, let's say, untoward medical condition. Okay, but what the key thing is that the person has taken a vaccination, and after taking the vaccination, the person doesn't feel comfortable. That is AEFI. Yes, and you also said that we should be able to draw a thin line between side effect of a vaccine and then what do we call AEFI? Yeah, it's true. You see, the manufacturer who prepares and distributes vaccines has actually documented the possible side effects of every vaccine. It's not vaccines alone, including drugs that we take. Yes, so the only difference that I can highlight here is that with vaccine side effects, they are not as severe as compared to that of Aefi. And then it is looking at the duration, the onset of the discomfort might not take a long time with the reactions, but for that of the Aefi, it may continue for a very long time. Sometimes you might not be able to distinguish whether this is a side effect or an onset of, let's say, Aefi, because they are all uncomfortable situations. Just that the Aefi might go extreme. It might be severe. It might take a long time for you to resolve it. But for the side effect, it occurs, it is mild, and then it doesn't continue. As and when the drugs performs its function, the onset of that discomfort begin to drop. But for the Aefi, if you don't tackle it as it stands, it will continue and advance. So as it continues to advance, complications sets in, and that is where we don't want it to land. Yeah, so that is a little I can say about it.
Okay, that's good to hear. So, Mr. Gatti, are all Aefis caused by the vaccine itself?
No. Thank you very much. Let me say hello to all viewers. Sorry. Just like I said, Aefi is something we expect, an event that we expect or do not expect. Aefi is something that happens to you after you've taken the vaccination, be it whatever. It is not necessarily due to the vaccine. Now, when the vaccine is being produced, there is a trial in animals, trial in humans. That is the period when side effects are known. And so some of the side effects, when we give you the vaccine, we expect that this and that will happen. And that is also an Aefi. So whatever happens to you after the vaccination is Aefi, an adverse event following that particular immunization or vaccination. So the side effects are part, and then other things that the manufacturer did not notice during the trial are also part. And so it's not necessarily due to the vaccine. We worry so much about Aefi. You know, we are talking Aefi. The public doesn't know. All that they know is that sometimes when you take the vaccine, there's something that will happen to you. We call it Aefi. We actually monitor strictly to ensure that when they happen, we'll handle them. And so it's not necessarily due to the vaccine. Sometimes somebody will take your vaccine and then will come sick. And when you come sick, we don't just accept the fact that you took. No, it's not like that. When you come, you are coming because you've taken vaccine and now you are not well. And so we have to investigate what is really wrong with you. So we do certain tests to know what is wrong with you, and then we treat. Sometimes somebody will take the vaccine and come ill. When we test, it will be malaria. You know, the vaccine cannot cause malaria. And so to the person who took the vaccine, it is because of the vaccine. That's why he or she is sick. We don't bother. Once you've taken the vaccine and something has happened to you, you need to come back. When we are talking about Aefi, we don't talk about only what the vaccines can do. So when Abu was defining Aefi, I said not necessarily due to the vaccine. It can be due to the vaccine because, you know, any drug has side effects. And so when we are giving you the vaccine, we expect that the disease that we are protecting you against, you might have some mild symptoms of that disease because of the vaccine. We expect it. It is side effect. And it comes, when it happens, it becomes Aefi, and so we must investigate. As we talk, we will talk more about why we really monitor Aefi.
So why do you do that?
Yes, so like I said from the beginning, when the manufacturers are producing their drugs, including vaccine, they try it, and as they try, they know what will happen to you after you've taken the drug, on the side, good side, and then the bad side. Some drugs are produced and certain side effects becomes beneficial. Yes, so FDA, is it FDA?
Yeah.
Food and Drugs Board.
Yes, FDA.
They monitor these things, and because we are in the field providing healthcare and administering those vaccines and drugs, we monitor for them to deal with the drugs. And so if before the vaccine will come, will be accepted to be used in the country, FDA will test and ensure that what the manufacturer is saying is right. After that, that doesn't end it. What will happen to me if I take a drug, how I will react to it will be different from how you will react. So it could be that during the trial, certain people were used who did not show certain effects from the drug, but in the practical use, in reality, somebody can show that effect. And so we collect AEFI information data, whether we know or not know. We report immediately to the FDA to investigate that particular effect is a side effect of the vaccine or not. Sometimes the AEFI will lead us to withdraw certain products from the system because we realize that somebody took it and it was very harmful. Another person did like that, and so that can advise the FDA to withdraw that product from the market. So all about AEFI is to ensure that the vaccines we are giving out are safe, continuously safe. It's not like we gave it this year, nothing happened, so that is the end. We keep monitoring as far as the vaccines are with us, and we are administering it to people.
So if you find out that the effect, the adverse, those effects, right, is too much, you withdraw and you replace. Yesterday at an event, you made mention of this polio, vaccines. And you said the oral one is going to be replaced by
injectable
the injectable one. Is it because of the side effect or because of what?
It's not exactly because of its side effect. I was talking about poliomyelitis, the disease that paralyzes children, mostly under 15 years. And so the eradication started long ago. And the vaccine that we had was oral polio vaccines. We kept giving oral polio vaccine. Currently, as I'm speaking, we've been able to eliminate wild polio. If I say wild polio, what I'm saying is that the virus that were already in the environment. So the polio that is circulating amongst us is the one that we have administered and did not go well. It's fecal-oral. So when we put it in the mouth and it is defecated, that's when it gives certain complications. And so the plan is that we'll keep giving the polio vaccine and we'll keep giving the oral, and then later on replace it with the injectable. The injectables are killed viruses, and so they cannot cause any other troubles again.
But the oral sometimes causes...
Yes, because they are live. Attenuated.
All right.
The ability to cause infection has been removed, but in the environment they can sort of mutilate and then come back.
So Abu, are there different types of AEFIs, and if yes, how are they categorized?
Okay, so in a broad perspective, I would say there are two types. We have the serious and the non-serious ones. Okay, so the serious ones are those that our concerns or our focus are always placed. The non-serious ones, just as my brother is saying, whatever it is, all forms of AEFIs must be reported and then investigated as much as possible so that we will know, we'll be able to establish the causality effect or what has been the actual thing on the ground. Yes, so we'll also spend time to look at the types of AEFIs or the examples of AEFIs. Some of them, like I said,
so the category are two.
Basically.
Serious and non-serious.
Yes.
So what are the serious and what are the non-serious?
Okay, so the non-serious are those that will come out with discomfort, like mild ones. They are not too severe. The person is conscious and can listen to instructions and can answer questions. Probably there might be upset at the side, there might be pain, the pain at the side of injection might be reddish, there might be some kind of little fever. All these are AEFIs, but they are non-serious. Okay, but you can give someone an injection and all of a sudden the person can have there's a term we use, anaphylaxis. You can see the person has developed maybe rashes all over the body. Some of them cannot breathe. It's life-threatening. You have to support them with oxygen. I remember during COVID time, I was coordinating the AEFI in my area there. In fact, we had some serious ones. And then, because they were able to prompt us as early as possible, we were able to handle all situations to a level that we didn't even lose any patient. Yet some of them have to be supported with oxygen, and some of them were admitted, others were detained for some time before they were discharged. So if yours is such that you have to be admitted in the first place, it means that it is a serious AEFI. That is where we'll be able to support you with oxygen and then other things, medical care, for you to become okay. But those that will come at the OPD, will see them there, will assess the situation to see if we should perform a procedure. If their side has swelling to a extent that we have to do a procedure for you, yes, there's a team there. During every vaccination time, we have various teams in position to be able to take care of every sort of AEFI.
You mean mass vaccination, right?
Mass vaccinations, even at our routine vaccinations that we do for everyone, there's a team there that is aware that AEFIs are there, and they form part of that committee to be able to handle issues of those issues surrounding AEFI. So the non-serious ones are those that come to the OPD with their concerns. You can hear me, Manda. If you at the man, no, so those things you bet me at the OPD level, manage it, and then we say go. Even though you are going, we'll still complete a case-based form that will initiate the investigations of it. Mostly it is the serious ones that the FDA, as my brother said, yes. So WHO is aware of this AEFI thing, and they have designed a structure or a team, a hierarchy of teams that investigate at each level of the reporting system to be able to confirm as to whether what has happened to the patient or the individual who took the vaccine is as a result of ABC. That is where we have the causality effect kind of something. We want to know whether it is the vaccine. And my brother earlier said that as part of the investigation, we have gotten to a level where most vaccines has been withdrawn from the system. Okay, because there are a whole lot of issues. I remember one of our interviews we discussed vaccine hesitancy, right? Yes, so we want to put confidence to the people to be able to know that the vaccinations and the theories around vaccines are never true. So that is why the investigations of the AEFIs are very important. It doesn't matter the type of the AEFI, you get it? So that we are able to ascertain the fact that this is coincident. This coincidence is a type of the AEFI. We'll get there. So coincident, vaccine, product, error related, all those things are there. Time with time, we'll handle them one after the other. So we have to be too sure of what is happening to the patient. Somebody might have underlying condition. Before we give you the vaccine, we will spend time to speak to you about the vaccine, the possible things that you may know, just as my brother said, that the known ones, the expected ones, that one has been documented by the manufacturer. So we'll tell you that it's likely that ABC might happen to you yourself or your child that you have brought for the vaccine. So when it happens, even though we cannot determine the exact time that thing will happen. If it is in the night, maybe there is a first aid kind of something you apply. Maybe you are far away, you have to, maybe you spend a long time, there is something immediate probably you will do. We will not prevent that, but even if you do, and you think that you can't even let's say you came to Interbetin and then you received our services and you are staying at maybe, let's say, Elmina. Okay, so go to Elmina Health Center with an evidence. Okay, the evidence, if it is a child, it is the child health records card. People call it weighing book or weighing card. Go with the weighing card. That is the only evidence to show that you have actually taken this vaccine on this day. So any health worker at each level of the reporting system is familiar with this conversation we are talking about. So when you show it to them, they will be able to assist you to address some of these things. If they think that at their level they can't, but they have to refer, they will refer till you get to the level where they can help you alleviate all forms of fear and then issues around the Aefi. So this is basically what I can say about the serious and the non-serious. The non-serious ones are mild ones that we can attend to you at the OPD level and probably ask you to go. But the serious one mostly are life-threatening, and some of them even die. Yes.
All right. So does it also form part of the different types?
I'm saying the different types, we have two. But the examples are what I was trying to.
But do you normally tell them the effect before giving the vaccines?
That's what I'm saying. So what I have observed so far at my end there is that if a mother is sick with a child and we are supposed to give the vaccine, we first of all tell you what we are going to do for you in the first place. This is what we are going to do. For example, if we are going to give your child Penta, we will tell you that we are going to give Penta to your child because of the age he has attained or the period, and we are going to give at maybe your left upper thigh. And the expected, just as he said, will be,
that is
yes. So we'll tell you, draw your attention to that when it happens, probably in the night, maybe there are some first aid things that we advise you to do, but after that, report to any nearby health center with an evidence to show that you did that. Then the necessary thing will be done for you.
Okay, very well. But Mr. Gatti, how common are these serious AEFIs, and how are they usually handled?
Okay, very good. In fact, serious AEFIs are not common. They occur, but they are not that common. Just like Abu said, when the vaccines are being given, we tell the mothers what the vaccines are going to do for them, why we are giving them, and then what they expect. And so, like we've already spoken about it, the serious and the non-serious. The serious ones are not that common. The non-serious, like something very mild, fever, headache, site of administration, abscess, itches, and other things. But when we talk about serious AEFI, we are talking about conditions that are life-threatening, conditions that can hospitalize you. The effect of the vaccine can cause malformation in vitro, that is, unborn babies can be affected. And then the vaccine, the effect can be with you for a very long time. You understand? So about 5 criteria selecting serious: life-threatening, hospitalization, prolonged effect of morbidity, and then it can cause in vitro malformation. So
and sometimes death.
It's death. Once it's life-threatening, of course it can kill you. Sometimes you see a condition called Stephen Johnson syndrome. You think the hot water has been poured on the person, but it's an effect of a drug due to your condition and other things. So how we handle it, we tell you that the vaccines we are giving you can be this the child can have fever, the child can have headache. The child may not be able to tell you that I have headache or fever or what. What they will do is they will cry. And so when they cry, you, the mother or the caregiver, can feel the warmness of the skin. And then once the child cries a lot, which is not normal, you need to report to any health facility so that we will record the AEFI. We keep records of what is happening, and then we'll manage the condition. Any AEFI that you report to the health facility will be taken care of free of charge,
whether severe or
mild, whether routine vaccination or mass vaccination. Once you come and establish that I took your vaccines and this is what is happening to me, it is free. The treatment is free. That is the Ghana Health Service policy. And so if it is mild, it is managed at the OPD, you are gone. If it is serious, we still manage it. We take care of you and all the costs.
It doesn't require the health insurance and others.
No, you know, when we say free, you the beneficiary, it is free to you. But the one giving it to you, it is not free. You get it. The policy is that even if you are a private health facility and you are part of the exercise that we are doing, if you see AEFI, you treat free and then you bring the bill to the health directorate. The health directorate doesn't have money to pay you. They will forward the bill to the next level, If it comes, that is another topic. I don't want to go into it so that it will generate something. But then every AEFI that is reported is treated free of charge. And we make sure that you are okay before we let you go. Sometimes it leads to death, and we collaborate with the families, and certain small costs that will come around, we deal with it. And you know, sometimes when it leads to death, we really need to establish if it is really because of the vaccine or not. And so we need to do postmortem. And most African families don't
want the postmortem.
They don't do postmortem. So we end it there. We discuss with the family, and then mutually we take a decision, and that ends. But it is very, very important for us to do the postmortem to actually establish whether the cause is the vaccine or not, because it may occur again, which we don't know. But if you establish that it is the vaccine that caused this death, then we will know what to do the next time. But so, for us not to encourage vaccine hesitancy, AEFI is welcome to us. We handle AEFI very carefully. And so whether you, the health personnel, think this is due to the vaccine or not, it is AEFI. Once the person has come to say, after taking your vaccination or after consuming your vaccine, this is what is happening to me, we take it and then we'll manage it as such.
So what a situation where the person is also having underlying conditions that has resulted to are you able to establish that one?
Yes. You know that there are tests that we do. And so if you are having underlying conditions, we really need to know. That's why we ask questions. And so if we are giving you vaccines that can, or drug, that can interact with a condition you have or can make the condition, aggravate the condition, we either need to stop or do it carefully. And so if we establish that it is due to the underlying condition, we will manage you just like we are managing any other AEFI. What I'm saying is that we need to inform the manufacturer. And so we have to go ahead and do all the tests that we need to establish the exact cause of your condition.
All right, Abu, let me ask, if someone had a bad reaction, to a vaccine before, can they still get the future doses?
Yeah, it depends. So there are some people with some specific conditions. There are this
PD6.
GPD6 group of people.
Who are those? GPD6. Who are those people?
There are some people who have issues with their immune system. So that one, per doctor advice, you see, we've already said and we keep saying that every AEFI must be investigated. You understand? It is important for you to do the investigation to actually know the source of the problem. And it does not take an ordinary person to do that. Like I said, there are a lot of community and then teams in place together with the Food and Drugs Authority to do that, especially if it is a serious AEFI. They come in. I remember those that I said during the COVID time, a team from region came and we had a series of meetings to be able to resolve issues. So depending on the question you ask, you see that if that person took the vaccine and it was life-threatening, and we are able to come to a level to know that it happened that way because of the person's condition, then it is advisable that he or the person would not continue to take that particular one. Of course, we have very many vaccines in the system, in the API system. So we'll actually look at which one actually caused that, so that that particular antigen will not be given to you for the second or the subsequent times. And that one doesn't even come from one person. Like I said, the committee will go through to see, including the doctors who are part of the team, will help us to know. Apart from that, if you happen to get some of these minor AEFIs, it doesn't prevent you from, taking the subsequent ones. You are good to go. Before it will even be able to elicit the immune response that would lead to the development of the antibodies that will give you the immunity. There will be an exchange of your body molecules or the cells with the antigen that we are introducing into the body. So during that exchange and the attempt to prepare antibodies, you will not find it easy. And it is not applicable to all the vaccines, though some of them are like that.
Okay.
So all these things, we are able to tell you the individual who is coming for the vaccination, so that you have at the back of your mind that these are some of the things that will happen to me. Then if it goes beyond your level, then make sure that you run up to us so that we'll handle it. Then we are also saying that if the vaccines are given, we don't expect that. You see, we sometimes we health workers, let me say this, my little observation on the field of work, we fear to even report. My brother will testify to that. And it is because when the investigation is ongoing, or when you are completing a case-based form to the next level for investigations to continue, probably we would want to know who was there at that time and what exactly the person did to the person. How did you give it and all those things. But it is not to revoke your certificate. There are some additional information that the team will know to be able to take some directions on the investigations. It does not necessarily mean that. So all our viewers who are listening are health professionals and they are working, they are very much aware that sometimes people think that, if they are able to know that, I gave the vaccination and probably per the protocols and then the route of administration and the way to go about it didn't actually augur well, maybe it will affect him or her negatively. That then when you go and it's happening, give para. Those places you go and there are paracetamol and all those things, but with time all those things have stopped because we are educating people to draw their attention to the fact that one dangerous thing is that if you're a health worker and you educate and probably you didn't take your time or you didn't educate constructively, people confide in most in health workers most of the times. So when you say if you go home and your child temperature rises, and I say as once I can para. Okay. The person got home. Mostly, let me also say this, the life attenuated vaccines that we give our people, they are mostly associated with this feverish thing. The life attenuated ones. No senior TBR and at this pentaton I'm talking about. Mostly but say a babruso one is too much. We advise that you provide a first aid like the paracetamol we are talking about. But if you give 1, 2, and 3 and it persists, you have to stop and apply another mechanism like you warm, you put towel in water, you make it wet and probably clean them. If it happened in a time where you cannot get a means to a hospital, that is what you will do for a short time and then. But once the health worker said, "Oh, give para," if it is a full bottle of paracetamol, once the child temperature is still on, who knows? You might end up giving even half of the bottle of paracetamol to the child because you said it. You understand?
Para is given in the. You can't give half of the bottle.
That's what I'm saying. Some people are like that. You say I went to the hospital and
I mean, have a bottle at a go.
No, don't talk
giving.
like that. You know, when para is given, you tell them when to give the para.
That's
so if
fine.
you give in the morning and the child is still warm, it doesn't mean that you should add on. But then I want to correct a notion that health staff are afraid of reporting AEFI. That's not the issue. If somebody is hesitant in reporting AEFI, it may be because of the documentation that some people think that is a lot of work. But then
they run away from documentation.
Yes, but then health staff, we have trained our health staff enough to identify AEFI and report immediately. We all know the importance of the report, so we report immediately. The AEFI investigation, it is not about who gave or who took it. It is about the vaccine and what is happening to who took it. Of course, we usually have procedural errors and other things, and we recognize them and we train our staff to ensure that if this is the site, you give it at that site. If there are angles at which we give vaccines, some are 15 degrees, some are 45, others are 90. You make sure that this vaccine is supposed to be given at 45 degrees, you give it at 45. And so the investigation doesn't first think about, did you really give the vaccines well or not? We want to make sure that the vaccines are safe. So if you are giving me water to drink and immediately I took the water, I start coughing. Before you give it to other person, you must know why the water is making me coughing. So it's about the safety of the vaccines.
All right.
Yes.
This is Cafdil Healthcare on Cafdil TV. We are live on Facebook and YouTube as well. I want to know the systems that are in place, to monitor and report after the vaccine has been rolled out to the public.
Yes, there's a system in place. What we'll do is that we don't just give vaccines to anybody to administer, even if it is oral, it is uninjectable. We make sure that anybody who handled vaccine has been trained. We do the training on what can happen and then what needs to be done early. So any health staff who will give you, sorry, today my voice is cold. Any health staff who give vaccines to anybody will tell the person what may happen, and then after that, add that any other thing that happens, you come reporting. It's actually not good for, if you take a vaccine and there's a fever, give para to stop the fever. The principle of vaccination and immunology is wrong, but we'll talk about it later on. But then because mothers are not okay with the fact that their children are having fever, they will try to subdue the fever. But the system is that when somebody reacts or when there's any event following the immunization, they come and report. When they come and report, we document. We document and make sure that we list all the vaccines that were given. You get it? You were asking whether if somebody reacts to a vaccine, we will give again. If I give you COVID vaccine, or let's say hepatitis B vaccine, it is just one single vaccine that I'm giving you. It is very easy to deal with it. If you react and we think that it's serious, if it is mild, you will still give it to you. But it's a serious AEFI, then we'll stop it there. But in the routine expanded program on immunization vaccination, in a day we'll give about 3 vaccines. And so if there's a child who reacts to that vaccine, we will write the particulars of the child, what the child is going through, the condition that the child is experiencing, and then the vaccines the child was given that particular day. All of them. It means that we don't say if you take Penta, the site of injection becomes swollen or reddish. And so we know that one, this is what's happening, so that is the end. No. All the listed vaccines that were given on that day will be investigated to see whether it links to the reaction or the event that has occurred. And so these forms will be filled at the facility level where the injection was given or the vaccines was given and submitted to the district. And so immediately somebody come to report EEFI, verbally you have to transmit the report to the next level. So at the facility where the vaccination was given, immediately the person comes, you call to inform maybe the health directorate or the sub-district that there is somebody who is reporting AEFI. The forms are filled. And then at the district level, we follow up to investigate whether it is serious or not serious. If it is not serious, we manage it there, we debrief the client and the people around them and let them know why what is happening is happening. If it is serious, once the form has been filled, whether it is serious or not serious, when it comes to the district transmits it to the regional level, who deal with the FDA, also inform them about the AEFI. So every single AEFI that occurs in any corner, once it is reported and the forms are filled, FDA is informed. And so if it is serious, the regional team will come join the district team, and then together with where the vaccination was given, we will go ahead and investigate, manage the cases, and do all that needs to be done. If FDA had to come and also do their investigation, we are with them. And so the system is there. And the system is that anything that happens, if you give any vaccine and the person comes, I had fever, you must report. If you give any vaccine, the person say, I felt dizzy, my BP went up, or it dropped, or whatever it is, you must report it. And after verbally reporting, you must fill the form. So the form will outline the type of vaccines given, where they were given, the date they were given, the doses the child has taken already, or is this the first time, and certain details. And then everything that happened. Was there fever? Was there swelling somewhere? Was there dizziness? Was there anaphylaxis or whatever? It is all stated. And so in the investigation is carried through.
How long does it take?
It depends on the condition. If it is mild, we fill the form, we make sure that the health facility closer to the person treats whatever symptoms that the person is showing, and then that is it. The report is forwarded online. It is forwarded to the region, to the FDA for investigation.
So while these investigations are going on, that person will still be treated?
Yes.
Okay.
The treatment is ongoing. Once we see you, we start treatment.
All right.
Yes. If it is serious and the person is admitted, still the treatment will immediately start while the investigations are going on. And if it is serious, samples must be taken, blood samples and those things, to really ascertain and isolate whether it is the cause of the vaccines or not. But we don't go defending that, no, this condition you have brought is not the cause of the vaccine. We know the vaccine. We know we have been giving it for this long time. And so this is no, we don't do that. Once you have come, if you took the vaccine and said, my teeth has been itching me, we take it as AEFI. You understand? And so whatever you mention once you are saying that after the administration of the vaccine, it is AEFI, and so we take it and then we manage it as such.
Right.
It used to be after 28 days. Within 28 days, if anything happens to you, you must come to us. That 28 days has been scrapped off. So now, once you take the vaccine, anything that happens, you can come. You know us and how we manage information. Somebody can take vaccines about 10 years ago and come back to tell you that, I remember
10 years ago,
you gave me a vaccine, and if it has started worrying me, so I'm here, deal with me. But then truly, the FDA has advised us that there is some late reaction to especially vaccination. Vaccines are not like most drugs that will come in you in the next 25 or 24 hours. It is off your system. Vaccines stay for longer because that's why we give multiple doses. If we give first dose today, initially when we started, we thought that if the second dose date has passed, that is the end. You have to start over. But it's not like that. Vaccines, once the system has started engineering immunity, the memory is there. When you add on, it continues. So there's nothing like delayed, unless that you don't have to give it before the scheduled dose. Yes, okay. But then after the schedule, no matter when, we can still give it. So we want to manage such information carefully so that we will not be having those issues.
There's a lot of fear around vaccine and side effects, right? So how can people know what's true, Angasa?
If you want to know what is true, it is difficult, because amongst us, the health workers, we even have the anti-vaccine campaigners. We are identifying them and uprooting them small.
Among you,
I tell you,
have the anti-vaccine campaigners.
Exactly. So the truth is that the vaccines with us are safe. I told you the other time that when COVID vaccine came first, somebody called me, we were on radio, and I asked the person, have you been sending your child to the weighing, the child welfare clinic? He said, yes. How many children do you have? They've taken a lot of vaccines. Where those vaccines are coming from is the same where this COVID vaccine is also coming from. And so the truth is that the vaccines are safe. Parents and caregivers can attest to the fact that since 1972, we've been giving these vaccines, and they have been helping. That I was telling you, we used to have plenty siblings. People were born in plenty, and because they were dying as they were being born. Now, if you make mistake and deliver 10, they will be around you. And
I'm going.
What will die. So no one will die. And so the vaccines vaccines have saved our lives.
Yes,
vaccines save life, and it is still saving life. We had COVID. It was just rising. After the vaccination, this recent cholera that occurred in KEA and everywhere, we suffered. Even looking for the source of the infection was difficult. But immediately after the vaccination, it went off. And so I will not be surprised that somebody who is talking against the vaccine has already sent his or her child to the child welfare clinic for vaccination.
Yes.
Because we are here. We have tuberculosis, and children are being vaccinated against TB. We have pneumonia, hepatitis. We have measles, yellow fever, polio. We are vaccinating the children against them. And if you say you will not take, it's unfortunate. People also want to believe the fact that I said I have taken the vaccine and this is what happened to me. Yes. And so they follow it. Even if that person is telling the truth, the fact that I took the vaccine and had headache doesn't mean that you will take it and have anything. I was telling the other time, my colleague, when the COVID vaccines came first, I took it, nothing happened to me. But immediately I gave it to the colleague, I administered it. Just about 60 seconds, he said, where the nurses are? He was collapsing. So even the vaccines, if I take it and I'm protected, it doesn't mean that you take it and you'll be protected, because there's something called seroconversion. The body should turn the vaccination into immunity, before you be protected. And so many things happened to us. We all have different genetic response and immune response and other things. And so what I want to assure anyone listening or watching us is that vaccines are safe. We have tried and tested the vaccines we have. That is why we are so proud. We are so energetically behind the vaccines. Everywhere we go, we say that they are safe. Because
all right. So have there been any recent example where AEFI's reports led to a decline in immunization coverage?
Clearly, I don't have any evidence, like maybe immunization, just as you said. In our routine, no. In our NIDs too, no.
Okay.
Just that you might meet some few people. Just as you said, even within some of us, there are some few who don't actually understand certain things.
So
I would not say
against
yes, they don't actually understand certain things. That is one aspect of it, or probably they are doing it intentional. We've ever discussed vaccines, and I was speaking about bioterrorism. Yes, there are some group of people who come out with theories because of their motive and perceptions that they have. They fight people with these disease-causing organisms. They may want you to be vulnerable, and they come behind it and do some. So those theories, you can't prevent them. So the one part that we can also play is what we are doing now. People, if they get to know the truth, they are able to also take decisions for themselves, particularly on their health.
Yes.
So there has not been any significant decline in our EPI, whether it is national immunization, these mass campaigns, or in our routine. And it is because of this AEFI associated thing. No,
right.
Not that I'm aware.
All right. So, Mr. Gatti, our time is drawing nearer. So what can people do before and after vaccination to stay safe and comfortable?
Yes. First, everybody who has a child less than 5 years or 5 years or below should ensure that that child is taken to the child welfare clinic. That is where, if the child is due for vaccination, the child will be given.
Okay.
Most of our vaccines are given up to 18 months. So by 18th month, you take your last vaccine. So people knowing that, stop going for child welfare clinic, that the one we call weighing. But after the 18 months, the child is given vitamin A every 6 months. And that vitamin A is an immune booster that helps the vaccines to even work more. But what I would tell parents and caregivers is that the vaccinations are part of protocols to prevent infections. The major protocols start from home, keeping hygiene of our homes, our environment, the things we eat, the things we cook in, and the child itself. So you need to take the child to the vaccination center for vaccination. But then the child should be protected as far as hygiene is concerned. After the vaccination, anything that happens, you need to make sure that you report. You know, some people, based on experience, handle issues themselves. Me, for example, it's been a very long time that I went to the hospital. It doesn't mean that I don't get sick, because if I am sick, I go and test, I prescribe for myself. You understand? Unless it becomes critical that I'll go and see a doctor or I'll talk to a doctor. Some people immediately
What you do is not self-medication.
I test. I know what is wrong with me. I prescribe.
Is it not self-medication?
I'm a medical personnel.
But are you?
Let's talk about that one later. You see, when I am feeling symptoms that shows that it's malaria, I always advise people, the signs and symptoms nowadays are the same, are very general. You've had malaria before. All the signs and symptoms you experience when you have COVID, you feel the same way. When you have Ebola, the same, hepatitis. When you have typhoid, and so we need to test the condition. And so if I go to the lab and test for malaria and it's not malaria, I'm not going to take malaria medication. I'll test for another one till I get what is wrong with me. If I am not able to do that, I go to a doctor. They are more experienced in knowing which one is that and which one. But what I'm saying is that parents who think my child has been given vaccine and it's warm, and so I have to give para. The paracetamol you are giving will subdue the fever, which is creating the immunity. And so you shouldn't give the paracetamol. You need to report to the health facility or the closest health facility, and then whatever need to be done will be done for you. Okay. If we check the temperature and it's above 38, then we need to manage the temperature. Yes, so just like you are saying that I shouldn't do, no one should self-medicate. You get it? Especially after vaccination. Don't self-medicate, because we really want to know what happened and then investigate it. So we need to report all of them.
Okay, so I appreciate your time, and thank you for coming. You heard Mr. Charles Bonnie Gatti. He is the head of Disease Control Unit, KEEA Municipal Health Directorate, Elmina, and Abu Kwabena, also Disease Control Officer, Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. My name is Kojo Arthur. You can call me Ron K. Thank you for watching. Thanks to all the crew. Same time next week. Good night.
Sorba